England's National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, or NICE, has sent in its approval for the use of new tools in the detection of breast cancer. This latest innovation in the field of medicine has great implications not just for patients, but for doctors as well. We're all supportive of discoveries that ease things for everyone in the medical community. Let's get into what exactly this new technology is and why it's so important. First up, MagTrace and Sentimag. Everyone's skeptical about exposure to radioactive materials these days. And the thing is, when it comes to checking the spread of cancer in a patient, radioactive isotopes are what doctors resort to when doing biopsies of the affected tissue. Surely there must be a way to counter this and address people's concerns regarding increased exposure. That's where MagTrace and Sentimag come in to save the day. Endomag, the company responsible for manufacturing medical tools in the UK, is behind the success of this new lymphatic tracer and its guidance system. We'll now talk a little bit about what these devices do. MagTrace is essentially just a magnet liquid tracer. It's composed of very basic ingredients: iron oxide, sugar, salt, and water. The iron oxide is what gives this tracer its magnetic properties. The other three constituents are practically harmless, so really there's no element in this liquid that should make you wary of what the doctors are using on you. It's pretty simple to use. The physician injects it inside the patient's breast. After injecting it, the doctor waits for MagTrace to enter the lymphatic channels located around the armpit. To make this process faster, the company recommends a tissue massage to get the liquid flowing into the lymphatic system. Once that's done, the second step is using the Sentimag guidance system to pinpoint cancer's location. The Sentimag device employs the use of magnetic sensing to detect the presence of MagTrace, the magnetic liquid tracer that was injected inside the breast. It's a very sensitive probe, which makes it a pretty effective device in detecting the spread of cancer. The best thing is it allows the physician to detect cancer in not just the tissue, but the lymph nodes as well. Such extreme precision in one single device is pretty handy, especially in the field of medicine. So, what's so groundbreaking about these technologies? MagTrace and Sentimag's effectiveness sounds pretty convincing in theory, but that's not all there is to these two latest medical innovations. There have been dozens of clinical trials to prove that this system indeed does work. Not only that, but before the trials, there were a lot of scientific researches and peer-reviewed articles investigating exactly how effective these tools were. A study showed that the magnetic lymphatic tracer's ability to detect cancer in lymph nodes was around 97.3%, which is significantly higher than that of radioisotopes. With flexible scheduling, it can also be a pretty cost-effective system for performing biopsies on people with breast cancer. They conducted 5 clinical trials using Endomag's latest devices. The trial included 804 patients, and the tracer was able to detect a total of 1,683 sentinel lymph nodes. The first lymph node into which the cancer cells migrate is called the sentinel lymph node. Once the physician knows which node the cancer spread to first, they're able to discern its pattern of spread, and as a result, they can stage an early intervention to prevent further spread and malignancy. This clinical trial proved that compared to regular radioisotopes, MagTrace and Sentimag are more precise, and hence, a transition to using these tools should be brought about as soon as possible. Next, we discuss their superiority over conventional methods. Biopsies are very invasive procedures. They can be awfully uncomfortable and sometimes even unnecessary. The good thing about MagTrace and Sentimag is that they're not invasive at all. Biopsies involved the extraction of a sample of cancer tissue from the affected organ and then sending it to the pathology lab. There, the samples are analyzed under microscopes, and then the results are shared with the patient. It can be really time-consuming. Endomag's latest tools prevent all of this. Once the tracer is inside the body, the physician has to use the Sentimag guidance system, and they can immediately figure out where the cancer is localized. Moreover, there have been clinical trials demonstrating its effectiveness. There's plenty of evidence out there that the tracer and the guidance system are superior to the usual standard technique. The fact is, this novel technology is safe, precise, and cost-effective compared to using radioisotopes. Numerous studies have established this very fact. And what's even better is that patients don't have to go through extensive pre-operative protocols before this procedure. The tracer can be injected 20 minutes before, and it'll yield the same results but with minimal inconvenience to the patient. This makes it a great alternative to using radioisotopes, since it saves time for both the patient and the doctor. And now for the side effects of MagTrace and Sentimag. Clinical Clinical trials have shown that Magtrace is well tolerated. It's completely safe to administer. Only one small side effect has surfaced so far, and that's the appearance of brownish discoloration at the site of injection of the tracer. Studies have shown that this pigmentation of the skin usually fades with time, and it's no cause for concern for the patient. In the end, it's really just one trivial thing. Otherwise, the tracer and its guidance system have the green light. So, what does this mean for hospitals in the UK? The most common cancer in the UK right now is breast cancer. Almost 45,000 cases of malignant disease surface every year. What's even more alarming is that not all hospitals in the UK are equipped with radiopharmacy. This pharmacy is responsible for supplying the radioisotope and the blue dye used in the standard technique. A lot of patients have to travel huge distances to hospitals where such pharmacies are available. Supplying hospitals with a Sentimag guidance system will make things easier for patients. They would no longer have to travel long distances for a simple test. We've discussed Endomag's new tech enough for now. Let's move on to some more news, starting with increased cases of uterine cancer in Black women. Doctors are saying that uterine cancer may become the third most common cancer among women. What's more is that it seems to have increased mortality rates in Black women. Cases of uterine cancer among women are seeing a rapid rise, and it's extremely alarming, primarily because there are little to zero scientific studies on the sudden rise in cases. Survival rates are good if the cancer is detected early, but there's little knowledge among women about its signs and symptoms. Because of this reason, most women dismiss the bleeding, which is one important sign, as something nothing ordinary. This is why it's important to look into this and spread awareness about its signs, because once cancer reaches its end stages, there's little to no hope for a good prognosis. And now, a new way to kill cancer cells. There's a revolutionary treatment for cancer in town, people! A group of different researchers from the UK, Poland, and Sweden worked together to see how they can use light therapy to effectively combat cancer. Right now, the available solutions for treating cancer include surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and immunotherapy. But now we have a fifth one on the table, and it's called photoimmunotherapy. We're hoping there are a few side effects to this one, and that it might completely eradicate those pesky cancer cells. The procedure works by lighting up the cancer cells, just like those glow-in-the-dark stickers from our childhoods. This makes the cancer cells readily visible to the surgeon, and as a result, they're able to target the cells and remove them from the affected tissue. There's been a trial on mice suffering from a very aggressive form of brain tumor. However, even despite that, this new technique proved itself pretty effective in labeling even the tiniest of those cancer cells. In another trial at the Institute of Cancer Research in London, it was demonstrated that the technique was able to trigger a massive immune response against cancer cells. This is good because in case cancer tries to come back, the body will already be prepared to fight them and prevent a relapse. We hope that clinical trials prove to be successful, and soon we can use photoimmunotherapy to treat all kinds of cancer. Finally, we have a vaccine to fight cancer. Cancer cells mutate in a way that makes them hide away from the body's natural immune responses. This evasion of the body's immune system is what makes it hard to eliminate the cells from the body. However, there's some really good news. Researchers at Providence St. John's Health Center have conducted trials of a new cancer vaccine in mice. The vaccine works by rendering the immune escape mechanism of cancer cells useless. As a result of this, the cancer cells lose their ability to evade the body's immune response. What's even better about this vaccine is it increases the number of antibodies against the cancerous cells and makes the body's immune response even stronger. Clinical trials for the vaccine are under review for approval. Hopefully, we'll see the same results in humans. In case it does, healthcare systems will be able to provide better treatment for cancer. That's a wrap for this video. Want to know more about the tools for detecting cancer spread? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next video.